Hey friend, I've got an extra tender body chores for you today. This is inspired by the fact that today would have been my mom's 66th birthday. Happy birthday, Nancy. I hope that if you're hurting, it can keep you company. You can take this from your bed, you can take this from the couch, you can take this from the floor, you can do as little or as much of this as you want. It's very gentle, a lot of supported breathing work, but I promise you, since you showed up here, since there was something about it that sounded appealing, you will feel better after this is over, however much or however little you do. The way we rebuild our confidence is by keeping little teeny tiny promises to ourselves and following through. So my promise to you right now is that we're gonna do this together. It's gonna be nice. It's not gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna ask for too much out of you. And I hope your promise to you can be just to be here. Yeah? Let's do it. Hey friend, you can join me from wherever you are. But if you are currently fetal position, we're gonna take that pillow and we're gonna move it down under our rib cage. You can think about this sitting on top of your hips, supporting your waist, whatever feels good. We're gonna drape ourselves over the pillow and then we're gonna round over, really curled up, okay? I want you to get deeper into your breaths and I want you to think about inflating the balloon right under your bottom rib. Breathing into your side, breathing into your back. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You can purse your lips like you're blowing up a balloon. You can let it out in a big sigh. You can even make some noise if you want. Groan, haunted house sounds, I don't care. Feel the way your breath creates movement from the inside out, making more space inside of you. Depending on how creaky you are, you might feel a nice little stretch. You might just feel some more space open up to get you a bigger breath. Now you can stay here if you like. I'm gonna take my top arm. I'm just gonna stretch it out over my head. Let that shoulder slide up by your ear, armpit to cheek. Reaching out. You can walk your fingertips if you want to grab on for a little leverage. I'm going to take my top leg and I'm going to stretch it out as far as I can away from me. One long line. Fingertips to toes. Reaching. You can use the weight of your hip to let your pelvis drop away from you. Feeling that stretch in your side body. Let's take one more big stretching breath here, all the way in. Filling up, and exhale, bring it back in, curled up like a little ball. Bring it back to safe, bring it back to contained, bring it back to smallness. Good. When you're feeling ready, we're going to gently push ourselves up, but you can flip right over. I'm going to change my setup so I can keep an eye on you. We're going to the other side. Ooh. Bring that pillow between you and whatever you're laying down on. Then we'll drape ourselves over. If you choose to do this position again, you can play with how much or how little padding you'd like. It's a new experience every time. Once you're draped over on your side, tilt yourself towards the floor. Curl up, protect your heart. Protect all your squishy bits. And we're going to start to breathe into the side, into the back. As if you had one big dragonfly wing inflating and softly deflating on your exhale.
When you're ready, let's take our top arm and reach up overhead, letting the shoulder slide up, walking the fingies out. Grab on if you need to. You could also go in front if that's more comfortable. If you like a little more, let's stretch the leg away. Finding length, a really active reach through the side of the body, letting the hip drop, letting your neck soften, reaching fingers to toes, making a big finish line. And when you're ready, you can let it go, curling back up, bring it in. On your next exhale, let's press it up again. We're working our way back down to our back, so however you get there, I don't care, but we're gonna take this pillow and we're gonna put it under our hips, under our back pockets. Sometimes the easiest way to get there is to go all the way down, find a little hip bridge, slide it underneath, and then lower. I like to sort of tuck my tail, so it's really the flat part, my back pockets, that are finding their way onto the support. You might need to use your hands to lovingly move some meat around, yeah? Now you can stay here, this might be enough. A little bit of pressure under the pelvis can shift things around. Maybe you'd like to rock your knees side to side, letting your hips windshield wiper in their sockets. A little internal, external rotation. Just let it be easy. Something as simple and soft as adding the pillow, adding more support, can change this sensation entirely. It can be really beneficial. So you're welcome to stay here and take a nap if you want, I won't tell. If you'd like a little more, I'm gonna bring my knees up one at a time, lifting my feet off the floor. Now you could extend your legs straight up. You could keep your knees bent, let your heels hang down towards your cheeks. You could bring the knees in towards you, curling up a little bit more. Or even hold on behind the thighs, let your legs drop away. Experiment with this if you want to come out of it, and readjust your pillow for a little more support. Grab another pillow, get rid of the pillow. Anytime you can make a teeny little decision like that, to accommodate yourself, to meet a need, especially if it's not like a really, really necessary need, this might make it a little nicer kind of need. That is really powerful, non-glamorous self-care that you can do moment to moment. This time is yours. This body is yours, whether you like it or not. The decision to turn on this video and spend some time with yourself was yours. So whatever you decide will be successful today, even if it's just laying here and hanging out with me, listening to the sound of my voice, not focused on anything else, that can be a success today. You might find you feel better after this with less effort than you thought. Wherever you are, we're gonna bring the knees in a little closer so we can hold onto one leg and let the other one drop away. Before you let that leg drop, think about that little tuck in the tailbone. Ooh, making sure that you have some low back support from that pillow or whatever you're laying on. A little bit of padding can be really helpful. So when we let this leg drop, we're maintaining the position of the pelvis, almost like the tail is tucked up to the sky. And then we let the leg drape away. Pelvis is going to want to rock back. The pillow may help prevent that. We can try this a couple times if you want to see how many different sensations you can find. Ooh. Maybe you hold your bent knee a little closer. Again, you can hold behind the leg if it's more comfortable. Maybe your foot doesn't touch the ground on the extended side, and that's okay. Let gravity do the work for you here. The more you keep that tailbone tucked and pulling this bent leg in towards you can be very helpful for that. The more release you should feel in the front of that extended hip. You can try turning the leg in and out. You can try breathing consciously into the front of that hip. Did you hear that pop? Those are retired ballerina hips. Maybe you just choose to try to ignore it. Maybe you're feeling a lot of sensation and you just go, okay, we're gonna be here, that's it. Let something about this be a little more passive. The magic here is the time. You can work hard, you can do all the right things, you can practice your habits, you can check off your boxes, and still the thing that's going to make this better is just time. Just practice, just patience, just waiting. Let's take one more deep breath here. And we're gonna let this go. This time we're dragging that extended leg back in. That's how we're gonna let it go. So you can take a hold of it and switch sides. Tuck your tailbone under. Feel that scoop and support under your back pockets. And extend the other leg to let it drape away. Oh boy, this side feels different. That's okay. That's interesting. That's all. Give this version just as much curiosity as the other side. Imagine it was brand new all over again. Can you soften your collarbones? Can you release your grip a little bit? Maybe just wiggle your fingers and toes. Can you unknit the space right between your eyebrows? Soften your gaze, even if your eyes are closed. No laser beam eyeballs at the insides of your eyelids. Let it go. Can you drop your tongue away from the roof of your mouth? Can you soften your collarbones? See how we go right back into it? It's totally normal that your attention will be pulled away, that you'll need to come back to check in and scan. Just keep going. Just keep checking in. Just keep being here, paying attention, and giving it time. And on your next exhale, we're gonna stretch this leg out long. Everything draped over the pillow. If it's too much, you can take it out and just splat starfish. Otherwise, release your hands. Maybe releasing your hands and feet feels new. Maybe something feels a little different in your pelvis or your hips. Maybe you can finally soften your neck and shoulders. On your next exhale, we're going to go back to something smaller. However you get there, let's roll off to the side one more time. I'm going to plant my feet under me, take out the pillow, and roll it to the side. You can pause in fetal position, curled up here for a little break. Or you can turn yourself all the way over. Hands and knees, little child's pose. Don't worry, no planking. Nothing serious. Let's take the knees nice and wide, make a lot of room for the body. You can bring your pillow back into the mix if you like. We're gonna sit back towards our heels. This might feel like enough, especially if your hips are super creaky. You might just hang out here, feel something new. Or if you'd like, we're gonna start to walk the upper body down towards the floor. You can walk your hands out way away from you and really drape. Or you can bring, again, that pillow. Hello, Mr. Pillow Friend. Bring him over. I wish this was norm, but we'll settle. Bringing forearms, elbows, hands, or even your head all the way down to give yourself some support. Take as much support as you need. If you'd like to bring your elbows closer to your knees, make this a smaller shape. You're more than welcome to. I recommend staying wide, taking up a little more ground, giving yourself more room to move and melt. Maybe you'd even like to move the pillow down under your belly or between your legs so you can really slump. Imagine you're like a really fearsome dragon curled up, protecting its, what do you call this? Stash? Treasure. Like a big shiny rainbow egg. Even if the dragon metaphor was a little too dorky for you, go with me here. Imagine you've got big dragon scales down your back. You're gonna inflate each one. I think maybe I'm thinking about more like a stegosaurus. Big, scary, pointy scales all the way down your back. A nice spiky spine. You send them all out away from you on your inhale, like rays of sunlight stretching up to the sky. And softening as you let it go. When you're ready, we're going to climb our way out of this. If you're in bed, you might like to bring your feet off to the side. Otherwise, I'm going to use my hands to walk myself up. Push into the ground, move it away from you. Give yourself as much support as you need. I'm going to get my feet under me. You can do it however you like. I'm going to come into a little crouch. But again, swing your feet to the side, stand up. Just try to get your feet on the floor underneath you. Gonna take a moment here, sitting, crouching. Just be where your feet are. The more support you can ask for, pushing your feet down into the ground, letting them take your weight, letting gravity work its magic. The more support you can ask for, the more support you're gonna get back. That ground underneath you is gonna rise up to push you up. You root down, it's gonna lift you up to grow. Here we go. Plant your feet wherever you are. I'm gonna slowly roll it up to the top. Maybe you let your spine slump if you're seated. Knees don't have to extend. You can be nice and soft and squishy here. We're gonna roll it up, stacking one vertebra at a time, starting with the tailbone for 8, 7, 6, head, neck, and shoulders come up very last. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to the real world. Thanks for being here.